Testament. So we want to identify and categorize these canonical books. So the Hebrew canon actually contains 24 books, all right, and then the books are organized into 3 main sections. I'm saying the Bible, the Old Testament is actually, it contains 24 books, right? And then I think you're trying to carry your Bible to confirm, Abby. Oh yeah, quickly carry your Bible to count. I can even I should join you to count. All right, so it contains 24 books, all right, and they are organized into 3 main sections. So the first section is, we have the Torah. Remember I mentioned Torah the last class. We have the Torah. It is also called the Pentateuch, or the 5 books of Moses. So that's the first section, the Torah, which contains Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Okay, so that's 5. All right. Then we have the second category is called Nabim or Prophet. Nabim or Prophet. This particular category contains Joshua, Judges, the 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and the books of the 12 minor prophets. Okay, talking about the minor prophets, there's a topic on that, so we'll definitely get there, right? Okay, so the third category is the Ketubim or Ketubim. It's also called writings. Okay, so these include Psalms, Proverbs, Job, Ruth, Lamentations, Ecclesiastes, Esther, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, the 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Don't worry. So let me just go back. So I said we have 3 sections in the Old Testament. We have the Torah, because they can ask in your exam. We have the Torah, we have Nabim, and we have Ketubim. Torah, which is also called the Law of 5 books of Moses. Nabim, which is also called Prophet, and Ketubim, which is also called writings, right? Okay, so now let's look at the genres of literature in Old Testament. Okay, I believe you are not new to, when you hear genres of literature, you are talking about now let me use the literature for instance. When we're talking about genres of literature, we're talking about the categories. Under literature, we have drama, yeah, we have prose, and we have poetry, right? So the Bible itself is a work of literature, isn't it? So it has the genres of literature, okay, because the Bible is actually composed with variety of styles. Let me give an instance. The way the book of Psalms, the way it's written is quite different from what you will see in Genesis. Genesis looks like a story, a narrative thing, but Psalm looks more poetic. Do you get my point? So let's quickly look at the genres of literature in the Old Testament. So the first one is the historical narrative. The historical narrative, okay? This, narrates stories. We have likes of Genesis, Exodus, like half of Exodus, not all Exodus though. We have Joshua, we have Judges, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the first one is historical narrative. Then the second one, we have the law. Yes, the law. Talking about the law, I know the first book that should come to your mind should be Deuteronomy. If you have gone through Deuteronomy, you see a lot of laws. Starting Deuteronomy chapter 5, you see a lot of laws there, right? Then we also have Exodus, we have Leviticus. So that's another genre of literature. The first one I said historical narrative. Then the second one I said the law. Alright. So let's go to the third one. The third genre, we have wisdom. Wisdom, that's another style. Talking about Job, Proverbs. If you check it, the style is more of wisdom sayings. Wisdom sayings, is a unique style. Alright. And then some of these wisdom writings are actually attributed to Solomon. That we are told to, because he was known as Israel's wisest king, right? So let's go back again. I mentioned history, It tells the story of Israel. From their settlement in Canaan to the fall of Jerusalem to how they were sent on exile, all those things. That's the history. John. Then we have the law. This give us it exposes us to the things that God forbids during that time. What the law encourages, and then what the law forbids. And the law the laws that were given to the people of Israel, in order to help them. Then we also have Psalms. I can say Psalms is like poetry. Let's consider that as poetry. This is a very large category. We have Psalms, we have Job, we have Song of Songs. Try to look out for those books. You will see the way those books are written. They are like old hymns. Like old hymns meant for worship. And then the speech of the prophets like poetic. So that can be considered as poetry. Poetry. So let me go back again. I mentioned history, I mentioned law, I mentioned wisdom sayings, and I mentioned Psalms. Alright, so that will be all for this particular class. If you have any question, please do not hold back. Alright, I'm always here to help. Okay, and like I always say, if you need a textbook that would give you a summary of the whole IGM syllabus, I have one that is very good for you. I'm going to give you for 1,000 naira. I sell it for 1,505 for my YouTube audience. I'm going to give you for 1,000 naira, and I deliver nationwide. So just chat me up. I'm going to drop my WhatsApp link in the description box. Just chat me up and you get yours. Okay. Alright, and if you're an undergraduate too studying CRS, the book is definitely going to it's suitable for you. You're going to get value for your money. Okay. Alright, so I'll see you in the next class. Bye.